We will start by taping off sensitive areas of the body to prevent scratches and get ready for our pre-paint test fit. Then, the 4 bumper mounting bolts will be removed, as well as the passenger side bumper center bolt. This will allow us to remove the bumper and set it aside. After removing the bumper, it is important to make sure the ends of the frame rail are straight. This can be done with a crescent wrench and a hammer. After making sure the frame horns are straight, we will set out all of our parts and double check with the instruction sheet contents list to make sure everything is accounted for. Parts have been changed to stainless steel such as the hinge plate, cam lock mount and hook, jack T-handle, carrier lock T-handle, wing nut, and even the welded bar on the latch plate that the cam latch hooks onto. While inspecting the parts, thread check all nuts welded to the parts. Check for small BBs, also known as weld slag. After the slag is removed, thread check again, and if the threads need to be cleared up, run a tap through them. Important, there are locking nuts on some of these parts, and the threads will get really tight at the other end of the nut. Do not tap these nuts all the way through. It is time to prep our chrome bumper with tape. We will now slide the bumper in for a test fit. This is a good time to do some paint prep, such as edge sanding and removing any weld slag from the bare parts. If you have a body lift installed and plan to install the Duff's filler panel, then watch closely as we mark the holes to clearance for the tire carrier. After marking the holes, we can cut them out using a body saw. We already prepared a filler panel to match our paint color, but it is recommended to make all of your modifications before paint. If you are making the cuts after paint like us, come back with some touch-up paint to help prevent rust. After modifying the filler panel, it is time to fully install the chrome bumper with all of the hardware torqued down. We will go as far as mounting a tire on the carrier to ensure working order before powder coating. We will now install the tire carrier portion of the bumper by first lining it up and sliding the long 5/8 mounting bolt in from the top. Be sure to include the large diameter washers on each end, then the nylock nut. Next, the swing position T-handle is slid into place and assembled. Next, the rubber and poly bump stops are installed. And finally, the cam lock assembly is installed. The cam lock assembly bolt will start to tighten about 3 to 4 threads in as the nut is self-locking. When mounting the tire and wheel assembly, we are okay with around 1 to 1.5 inches of tire squish against the tubular section of the tire carrier, which means when measuring our wheel and tire combination, our needs need to be a maximum of 5.5 inches measured from the mounting face of the wheel to the tire edge. If your wheel has too much offset or the tire is too wide, a wheel spacer may be necessary. Just make sure the stud length is long enough for the lug nuts to hold the wheel onto the tire carrier securely. We will now start the final installation of the bumper after we get it back from powder coat. The first part we installed was the filler panel, followed by sliding the bumper tire carrier mount in between the frame rails. Remember to add the red plug in the bumper hole. Next, we need to reinstall our decorative rear bumper bolt. Before doing that, you will need to shorten it to clear the tire carrier mount while installing the bumper. A 7/16 thin nut and 5/8 split washer should be included in your hardware kit, so assemble them into the bumper, mark them, and then cut the bolt so that it sits flush with the nut when installed. The chrome bumper is then slid into position, being careful not to nick or scratch any of the painted surfaces. Like before, all of the bolts are lined up and then installed and torqued, along with the rubber bumpers, using some movie magic. We then slid in the tire carrier and main bolt. When adding the T-handle and cam lock, we add a dab of Loctite to make sure nothing can rattle loose. After assembling, we are ready to permanently mount our wheel. Now that everything is installed, we can remove all of the protective tape and test each of the features of the new parts and make sure the Bronco's tailgate drops and functions properly, around the new filler panel and tire